Well, hello, and how are you doing? I had some technical glitches there. I don't even know if it's working right now, to be honest with you. Having all kinds of issues with the service provider. It says that it's working, but I don't see that it is. I don't know. Let me just check and see. Yeah, it should be working. I don't know. It shows that it is. I can see the image, but for some reason it isn't showing on my channel. No, whatever. There we are. Now it's working. Sometimes technology is weird. It had a major delay there. So, for those of you who are joining on whichever platform you're watching this on, I know there's some viewers on. There's some viewers on Twitter. There's some on Twitch. I believe there might be one or two on Facebook. Probably a couple on my YouTube. Hopefully, that is the plan: is to get you to go to the YouTube so I can earn some money at this. Eventually, I mean, eventually, that's the ultimate goal. After all, one wants to get paid for one's efforts sometimes. I don't think there's anything terribly wrong with that. Maybe I'm wrong. Just a second here. Sorry, an urgent message just came in here. Hang on a second. Sorry. My apologies. Yeah, sorry. That was just a message that was. I thought it was important. Well, it's not that it's not important. I thought it was something else, and then I saw that it wasn't what I thought it was. I'm going to leave it at that. Some things you got to keep to yourself. But here's the thing: the reason I'm here this evening, the reason I'm back on and haven't been for a while, and again, I apologize for being away for so long. It's been a difficult year. I've not kept that a secret. I've been honest and open about that. I think with as many people as have asked, and every time I come on, I talk about it. And that's the point of this channel: is to talk about one's mental health and what we're feeling and going through at the time. Anyway, it's been a tough year. I got let go at the end of July, and I've been unemployed since then. And that's tough because my severance was my hope at the time was that I could enjoy the month of August, take the summer off, and get back to work in September. But there was nothing coming in, and I've been looking and searching and applying, and just no work. And then an opportunity came along. A recruiter called me, and I met with them, submitted the resume. They said, "This is what we want." And the client has accepted it. So starting in probably about 2 weeks, maybe 3, but 2 weeks for sure, I should be starting a new job. So that will make a tremendous difference in my life because that even though I don't tend to really get horribly stressed about the fact that I'm unemployed, it still sits in the back of your mind. The money's tight, so, the things that you used to like to do, it's like, hey, let's take off to Montreal for a weekend. Or let's, I don't know, go to a concert or just a nice dinner. Those things haven't been on the table for a while because the money's just not been there. So as a result, I've had to scale back, which is never really a bad thing. It's actually, it's one of those sober second thoughts, if you will, that helps you to understand that, there's times when you have to adjust your lifestyle accordingly. And I have. And I continue to do so. And when I start my new job, I will spend the first few months getting some bills paid off because when you don't have much coming in, um, every now and then, you figure out where I can cut here, cut there, cut that, don't do this anymore. Uh, you know, you just cut back on everything. And as a result, you do what you can to get ahead and get by. So I'm going to have to start paying down some bills. It's not that I have a tremendous amount of debt. I really don't in the grand scheme of things. And I should be fully paid off by I'm running the budget in my head. I could probably do it in 6 months and start to while I'm paying down my bills, my debts, and I don't have a ton of them. I really don't, but it does weigh heavy on my soul. Once I get those paid off, I can really start to invest and save. But while I'm paying them off, I'm going to continue to put some money away for a rainy day. And I had money put away for the rainy day that I just went through, but I was not thinking it was going to rain for that long. So what that has taught me is put more money away in the future, because that rain, sometimes those rainy days can go on a little bit longer than anyone ever plans. So, yeah, back to work soon. I don't have a start date as of yet. It should be probably in 2 weeks' time, maybe 3. So that's a good thing. And here's the weird part about it, I guess, is that I was very pleased and happy when I got the news. It was like, oh, there we go. That's wonderful news, because it makes, it just takes the weight of the world off your shoulders, knowing that, okay, I'll be able to continue to eat and have a roof over my head. Thank goodness for that. But it was also letting me know that I still have value in this world, and I've talked about that on this program. Sometimes you feel like you have no purpose and no value anymore. And there are a lot of men my age who are finding themselves unemployed. And where do we go from here? I'll be 57 in just like a month. So this job came in at the right time. My ship is coming in at the right time. And without getting too detailed on it was one of those things that made me go, there's a parallel here. When the offer came in, I thought to myself, there's a parallel. I know I'm being a little wishy-washy here, but some things you have to keep close to the chest, and some things aren't yours to talk about, but there's a parallel, and I'll leave it at that. The ship has come in. Somebody very close to me went through something very similar at the same age. Their ship came in. And mine is doing it in almost the exact same way, which was a surprise and a relief when the offer came, when the approach was made. And I'm grateful and thankful, and I don't take it for granted. And I'm eager to get started. There'll be some changes, obviously, because I'm going to have to start going into the office. It's a 5-day-a-week on-site gig. As far as I know, there might be some flexibility there, but I'm pretty sure they want me there 5 days a week, which, okay, no problem. My only thing is the commute. That's the part I'm not looking forward to. As I sold my car a couple of years ago, and I'm not in the market to purchase a new one just yet. I want to get the first, with any job, there's the 90-day, what is it? The first 90 days of your job where they can dismiss you at any time for any reason. Probationary period. Couldn't think of the word for some reason. And that's standard. That's, I've never I've never had an issue with it, and it's never been a problem. Any job I've ever had in my life, well past the 90-day period. So, um, yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. But I won't be looking to get a car for a little while. And the nice thing is, starting the job at this time of the year, it's no panic to get a car. Maybe come December, I might look at it and go, okay, it's time. But between now and then, we'll see. I'm going to be taking public transit, and I'm completely fine with that because I like using public transit. I use it frequently. It's quite reliable, especially during the rush hour period in the morning. Where I'm going to be working exactly, I don't know yet, and I can't tell you really anything about the job. Other than that, it's up my alley. It's audiovisual related, and I'll leave it at that. But I'm excited to start a new chapter, and it's I think it's a 5-year contract, possibly 6. Who knows after that? But that'll bring me to 62, maybe 63. And I'll be able to put away some money on this one because the pay is an increase for me, which is very much a relief. I say that because this is what I should have been getting at my last job. And the only reason I stuck it out was because I loved what I was doing. But, love only takes you so far when it's a job. I liked the people I worked with every day, and that kept me coming back to work. I actually enjoyed going to work every day. I was very fortunate. Not everybody gets to say that. But it was not enough money. And I told my boss as much. That had nothing to do with my dismissal. It's simply the contract I was on came to an end, and they didn't have any other work for me because they knew that I couldn't do the type of work I did years ago. I physically can't do that anymore. These days I have to do more computerized behind a desk, white collarish, just because of the limitations I have, physical, my back, my shoulders, my knees. You do construction for 30 plus years, or 29 years, I guess, on construction sites. And it takes its physical toll on you in ways you don't even understand until one day you wake up and you realize everything is broken. Everything is damaged. Everything hurts. So you make the adjustments. You do what you can to get by. And sometimes it's just not enough. You keep going through the days in pain. And you're not one for medication, so you take a painkiller when you get home at the end of the day, like an ibuprofen or something along those lines. Nothing stronger, because anything stronger is usually addictive, and we don't want that. Oh, thank you, Lori Sue. I'm looking forward to it. The only hint of anxiety I have about the new job is, and this is the honest to goodness truth, it's I don't know where I'm going to be. It's like, okay, once I'm told, oh, you'll be working here primarily, because there's different locations where I could be working, but they'll have a primary location for me. Once I know that, it's just okay. I got to figure out the bus route, the train and bus route to get there. If it's one location, it's just a train and a 15-minute walk. If it's another location, I got to figure it out. And that's the one that I'm a little concerned about, only because of the travel time involved. I don't know how it's going to affect my mornings. I don't know what my schedule will be. That's the only thing I have any anxiety about, is those unknowns. But when it comes to the job and the work, I'm like, yeah, no problem. I have every bit of confidence, and I'm going to encounter things along the way that will trip me up. I will stumble because I'm human, and technology changes, and I can keep up with the technology. That's not a problem, but technology doesn't always work 100% of the time. So, yes, Jay, you are correct. One of the comments here I noticed is Jay saying 3-month probation is mandatory for most benefits to kick in, and that's the case for me, yes. I ignore that when it comes to vacation and sick days because it's stupid to expect people to come into work while they are sick. I do have sick days. I have a flex schedule, personal days available to me. It's a good package. It's the best one I've seen in a private sector ever, personally. Now, I'm sure there's other better ones out there, but this is the best one I've ever had offered to me, so I'm very excited to start. Um, it should be a lot of fun because I get to work in a field that I actually care about, doing something I like to do. There will be some maintenance on the equipment from time to time that I'll have to take care of, but that's not a big deal. It's not like I'm doing that every day. Once in a blue moon, I need to get the tools out. Not an issue. I'm completely fine with that. I just physically can't be doing that 5 days a week, 52 or 50 or 48 weeks a year. It's simply too much. A body can't take that. But for the rest of the job, it'll be mostly using the brain, which I'm happy to exercise that muscle. I exercise it frequently, every single day, but doing it in the field that I worked in for a long time is enticing, exciting, and I like the challenge ahead of me because nothing is ever a cakewalk. There's always challenges. There's always unforeseeables. There's always roadblocks. There's always bumps. So I'm not sure about that, Jay. I'll find out. I'll find out. You know, Jay's just saying here's Flex is awesome. Do they let you bank within a pay period and get early Fridays? That I don't know. I'll find out. And Lori Sue is saying it's terrible when one's body reveals itself to be less than what we expect and need it to be. Yes. That being said, I saw this coming a long time ago. A lot of sports injuries, I knew they would take their toll because my father used to talk about that. He says, as you get older, those injuries you had when you were younger catch up to you. And he says, and they're accumulative. So the injuries you've had on a job site or a place here, you pull a muscle, it all adds up. And over time, it just gets worse. So this was a long, slow process. And I did see it coming a long time ago because I'd been forewarned. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen the way it did. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Yeah. I talked about it last week where I pulled a muscle in my back getting off the toilet one day. I can't even make that up. It's like getting ready to go to, getting ready to use the toilet and get ready to take a shower. And I was like, oh, and then just call the boss and go, okay, I just did something to my back. He goes, what, did you fall? Were you walking the dog? No, I was getting off the toilet. Which is funny because, and I'm like, so, and at the time I was in excruciating pain, but I couldn't stop laughing because I thought it was hilarious that the body starts to teach you that you're not as invincible as you thought you once were. So, yes, pain is the cost of having fun when we were young. Very, very true. So, as time marches on, as I see things differently today than I did a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't say that I was losing hope, but I was on the path to losing hope that I was going to find work. The lights were getting dimmer. I don't know how else to put it. I didn't have a good, warm, squishy feeling. And now I do. Now I do. And I'm very grateful and thankful for that. I mean, there are other men my age who are going through the same thing I went through. And I feel for all of them. because I know what they're feeling. And anybody who's going through something like what I just went through, I haven't even started the job yet, so money's still a little tight for a little while. But I see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and it's not far away. And that is a huge relief for me. The medication, I started, you can see the rosacea right here, actually, on my nose. And medication I'm on is starting to kick in and take care of that as well. So it's like everything is coming up without rosacea. I was going for a pun there. I think I missed it by a country mile, as the saying goes. But everything is coming up without rosacea. I am feeling better about myself, feeling better about my future, feeling better about being a contributing member of society once again. Because when you lose the ability to feel like you have purpose, it really takes its toll on you. I've talked about this on this channel in the past, fairly recently, although I've been infrequent with my posts, and I apologize. It's been, the last few weeks have been difficult. Both a combination of suffering from horrible allergies, and like I said, the light wasn't out at the end of the tunnel, but it was pretty darn dim. And I'm not feeling that anymore. So I'm pretty happy about that. I guess that's about all I've got to say this evening. Oh, my goodness. Cover the news says a dental drilling on Thursday. Yeah, I need to get some dental work done. I was about to sign up for the program, but I won't qualify for it anymore, which means it's 3 months before. I wonder if I could sign up now, because I haven't signed the contract. Maybe I could sign up now and I don't know. I don't know how it works, the new dental program here in Canada. Maybe sign up, go in and get some work done. And then in 6 months, I can go back and get some more work done under the insurance program that I'll be under from my employer. I don't know. It's a consideration. I have to get a couple of ducks in a row in the meantime. It's been difficult to take care of some little details here and there as of late. As of the last little while, I should say. I've let some things fall by the wayside. It's not that they've not been on my radar. It's just that when you start to feel like hope is slipping away, things that seem to be important one day are a lot less important the next. It's kind of the priority list shifts. So there's some administrative things I need to take care of. Nothing terrible or anything like that. Nothing pressing. Nothing horrible. But there's some administrative things I need to deal with. And now that I'm feeling slightly more confident and feeling like I have a purpose in this world again, and that I will be able to contribute to society once again, I think that'll give me the strength I need to put the anxiety aside and deal with a couple of administrative things. I'll leave it at that. Still have to have a private life to a degree, right? Anyway, my friends, I thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope you can share this channel. I'd like to grow the channel so I can help out as many people as possible. Yes, yes, if I can make some money along the way, that's great too. I'm not going to lie about that, but that's not why I started this channel. I started this channel to help people so that people could have a place to come and discuss their day, their mental health, how they're feeling, how you can get through when you feel like you can't get through. Try and give somebody a glimmer of hope and let people out there know that you are not alone. If you have depression, you have anxiety, I know what you're feeling because I feel it too. And I want you to know that it's okay to feel it. It sucks. It's not fun. And I'll take the depression over the anxiety any day. Because at least with the depression, you can handle it. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not so simple. It's not so black and white. There's various shades of gray. But I'll take the depression over the anxiety. Because the anxiety is just the worst. And it gives you the inability to deal with just simple day-to-day things sometimes. And that's the truth. Thankfully, my anxiety is mostly at bay. And my depression, even though it's always there, it's not this great, big, giant beast on my back every day. I mean, I've had some dark days recently, not gonna lie. But I've managed to get through, and I'll reach out to somebody and say, let's just go for a coffee. He's like, yep, no problem. Sometimes you just need to talk about anything but what you're feeling. And I know what that's like. So if you need to come here and commiserate with me, or just hear somebody talk about the fact that they're feeling it too, I'm happy to be the sounding board. I'm happy to be your outlet. So if you could do me the smallest, kindest favor and just share this with anybody you think who would benefit from it. You don't have to share it with everybody. It's just, this is not for everybody, obviously. It really isn't. But I'd like to be able to help those who could use it. So, until we meet again, my friends, I want to thank you very much for coming and joining me this evening while I was able to talk to you about the big change, the positive change in my life that's going to be taking me forward. It might give me more strength to be able to come in here and talk a little bit more. Matter of fact, I'm convinced it will. So until I see you again, take care. Bye.